It's the tale of two parties deeply divided on just about everything, including Donald Trump's return to the White House.
In our region, voters in red and blue counties share their concerns about the state of our union. We have two reports for you tonight from two different counties, one that went 60% plus for Trump and the other 60% plus for Harris. We
start with your reporter covering Yuba County, Kayla Moeller.
Some people in California's red counties, like here in Yuba County, say they don't need protection from the governor. Residents I've spoken with are calling the special session out of touch.
I think Governor Newsom is distorted in the way he's looking at California.
Gavin Newsom has ordered a special session with the California state legislature to protect what he says are California values.
Is anybody stating what values he's claiming? Is it just his opinion?
With the incoming Trump presidency, the governor's office says he's holding the session to protect fundamental rights, focusing on immigrant families, civil rights, reproductive freedom, and climate action. But those aren't the values most people here want to focus on.
I feel less worried about climate change as I do some of what I think California values would have been, unemployment, homeless conditions that we're dealing with.
I talked to voters in Yuba and Sutter counties. Both overwhelmingly voted for Trump. Does the governor's values align with yours as a California voter?
No, they don't. They don't.
I asked residents their thoughts on a special session to protect California values by the governor ahead of the inauguration.
I don't really see how he's looking in the future to find trouble. It does seem kind of unnecessary, but I want to be fair. I want to listen to the facts on all sides on this.
I don't think that there's anything that Trump is needing for us to be protected from.
Yuba County Republican Party Chair Joanna Lasaga calls the session out of touch, saying the big city shouldn't reflect all Californians, mentioning they distributed more than 12,000 Trump signs this election.
And we are gaining strides and we are making our points heard that is not our representation in California. Newsom does not represent what our feelings and our values are.
But what about the blue county response? Here in Yolo County, 65% of voters chose Kamala Harris, and some told me they support Newsom's efforts to push back against President-elect Trump.
I'm very happy that he's being proactive about what could happen to the state of California.
Jessie Lauren is vice chair of the Yolo County Democratic Party and a Winters City Council member.
We're over 50% Latino here, so it's a majority of our population, and we don't want it to be a bifurcated population where half of the population is afraid to exist.
Yolo County voters I talked to said they are worried about climate action, access to abortion, and sanctuary cities, all protected in California's state law.
Massive deportation. California is a huge agricultural state, especially Yolo County. I want them to be protected.
People are really terrified, scared, and kind of upset where the country's going. And we're kind of nervous to see what happens.
Newsom on a mission, he says, to Trump-proof California's Democratic policies.
I'm hoping that it's fruitful.
I'm a big Governor Newsom fan,
What would you say are California values?
Being free, you know what I'm saying? Being in your own skin without having nobody to judge you. Making your own decisions with your body how you want to.
The freedom to live our lives and free choice. And I'm afraid about how that might be narrowed and or diminished.
The governor looking to shore up state law before Trump takes office, heading to Washington, D.C.
So just left the White House, met with senior officials, met with the president himself, talking about everything we need to do to prepare for this transition.
And asking California lawmakers here at home to boost funding for the state attorney general to fight federal challenges.
A very large legal bench to address problems as they come.
That special session will convene on December 2nd.